Okay, let's jump right in. Sometimes, the most compelling and frankly urgent stories begin with just a handful of carefully chosen words. Today, we're doing a quick explainer on a flash of breaking news straight out of India. We are going to dissect the anatomy of a recent attempted murder in Pune, using the initial alert as our jumping-off point. Because let's be real, this isn't just about ink on a page or pixels on a screen. We are talking about a very real, very chaotic situation where a local vendor's life literally hung in the balance and authorities had to move lightning fast.
Let's look at the source material. The alert, directly from the Times of India, reads, "Two held for bid to kill pawn stall owner." It is incredibly concise, right? It's designed to grab your attention instantly as you're scrolling. But behind these few words is a massive, real-world scramble that law enforcement is actively trying to piece together. Think about it. An ordinary day for a small business owner gets violently interrupted, and boom, that sets off an immediate, massive scramble by local authorities to lock down the scene and find those responsible before they can just disappear into the city.
And right out of the gate, the authorities confirmed a highly specific, actionable result. Exactly 2 suspects have been apprehended. Not 3, not a vague roundup of a dozen potential witnesses, but 2 specific individuals. Local law enforcement executed swift, targeted action to physically detain this specific pair in connection with the crime. Going from an active, incredibly dangerous scene to having 2 individuals securely in custody, well, that points to some seriously rapid police work. They were likely relying on immediate eyewitness accounts or fast-tracked surveillance footage to lock down these primary suspects without any delay whatsoever.
Now, the phrasing here is absolutely crucial. Notice the words bid to kill. In journalistic shorthand, this establishes the severe legal classification of the incident. We are not talking about a minor scuffle here. This wasn't a robbery gone wrong or some tragic accident. There was clear, concerted intent to take a life. That single word, bid, instantly elevates the police investigation from a standard assault to an attempted assassination. Authorities are treating this as a premeditated act, which, as you can imagine, drastically changes how they interrogate these 2 detained individuals and significantly raises the stakes of the criminal charges they are preparing to file.
So what else do we know for sure? We have a firm geographic location and a very specific target, a pawn stall owner in the bustling city of Pune. If you're familiar with Indian street commerce, you know pawn stalls are absolutely ubiquitous. They are high-traffic, incredibly public fixtures. This means the attack almost certainly happened in a highly public, commercial space, not hidden away behind closed doors. This kind of brazen violence in such a busy area raises immediate, pressing questions about public safety. How on earth did the assailants manage to strike in what is typically a crowded, active environment? The police aren't just investigating a localized crime anymore. They're dealing with the ripple effects in a community that completely relies on these streets for their daily livelihoods.
But here is where we hit a wall. While we know the suspects are in custody and we know exactly where the attack happened, the overarching mystery is the motive. Investigators are literally working around the clock right now to uncover the missing pieces of this puzzle. Was this a case of extortion, which sadly happens with street-level crime? Was it a deep-seated personal vendetta? Or maybe a sudden explosive random dispute? The initial breaking news gives us the skeletal structure for sure, but detectives are actively building the exact timeline of events, interviewing bystanders, and searching for the weapon to flesh out exactly how this targeted violence unfolding.
Ultimately, as we wrap up this explainer, we are left to ponder the central, most provocative question that investigators are desperately trying to answer. What truly led to the attack on this stall owner? Look, we have the suspects, we know the victim, and we have the location secured. But that core human element, the why behind this sudden burst of violence in Pune, is the final, crucial puzzle piece waiting to be uncovered. As the investigation deepens and the suspects are thoroughly questioned, the full reality of what actually happened at that Paan stall is bound to finally come to light.